Something's quietly unfolding behind the scenes, and it could change everything about how your pension works in 2025. Most retirees across the UK haven't heard about it yet. But those who have? They are worried, and with good reason. Because while the headlines might be focusing on the usual political promises, there's a far more serious and silent shift happening in the background. One that could directly impact your weekly income, your access to benefits, and even how long you'll have to wait before seeing your state pension at all. But here's the real question: why isn't anyone talking about what's really in Keir Starmer's 2025 pension plan? And more importantly, what part of this plan is quietly being kept from the very people it affects the most, you? Now, I know what you're thinking. We've all heard politicians talk big before elections. Promises made, promises forgotten. But this isn't just about politics. This is about your livelihood, your future, and the unspoken risks that could shake the entire foundation of the pension system as we know it. Could millions of pensioners actually lose benefits under the new plan? Is the triple lock truly safe? Or is there something else, tucked away in the fine print, that could lead to surprise delays, eligibility changes, or even cuts that haven't been openly discussed? In this video, I, David, will walk you through exactly what's happening, but more importantly, I'll help you understand what they are not saying out loud and what you can do to prepare. And before you click away, let me ask you this. If there's even a small chance that your pension could be affected, wouldn't you want to know now, before it's too late? Stick with me, because what I'm about to share could make all the difference in how you protect your retirement. Make sure you subscribe, and stay right here. The truth you deserve is just seconds away. Many retirees across the UK are beginning to ask one critical question: what does the future hold for our state pensions? With a general election on the horizon and Labour gaining momentum, it's only natural that pensioners are growing more curious, and even concerned, about what Keir Starmer's plans might mean for them. While Starmer has made certain promises, there are also quiet undercurrents of change that some experts say could bring significant shifts, not all of which are entirely reassuring. The public announcements sound supportive, but when you dig a little deeper, the long-term effects of Labour's pension strategy may not be as clear-cut as they first appear. Keir Starmer has pledged to uphold the triple lock on pensions for at least 5 years if Labour forms the next government. For many pensioners, that sounds like a lifeline, especially in these financially unpredictable times. After all, the triple lock ensures that the state pension will rise each year by whichever is higher: inflation, average wage growth, or 2.5%. It's a safeguard that's kept pension increases in line with the cost of living. But while that promise is reassuring on the surface, there are subtle indicators that deeper changes may be coming, and those changes could affect far more than just the basic state pension. One area that sparked intense debate is Labour's proposal to shift pension fund investments more heavily into the UK market. This approach is intended to boost domestic economic growth and support UK businesses. But here's where things get a bit risky. Financial analysts have pointed out that limiting pension investments to domestic markets could actually reduce long-term returns for retirees. Pension funds typically perform best when they are diversified, when investments are spread out across international markets, different industries, and asset types. By narrowing the focus, pensioners could see smaller returns over time, possibly losing thousands of pounds that would otherwise have supported them in retirement. While the strategy may help the broader economy, it might come at a personal cost to those who depend on their pensions to maintain their lifestyle. Another area of concern is Labour's plan to cut welfare spending by nearly £5 billion. While these cuts are being framed as necessary to balance the budget and make room for new investments, they could hit pensioners who rely on extra financial support. This includes benefits like pension credit, housing benefit, and other top-ups that help the most vulnerable pensioners stay afloat. Although Labour hasn't detailed which specific areas will be affected, the lack of clarity is unsettling for many older people, especially those already living on the edge financially. The party promises fairness, but critics argue that pensioners could be left facing reduced support just when they need it most. The proposed restrictions on winter fuel payments have also caused a stir. Currently, all pensioners receive this payment to help with heating costs during the colder months. But Labour has suggested limiting it to only the poorest households. On paper, this may seem like a targeted and efficient use of resources. But in practice, it risks alienating middle-income pensioners, many of whom still struggle with rising energy bills, especially during a cost-of-living crisis. The potential withdrawal of winter fuel payments could lead to real hardship for those who fall just above the new threshold but still can't afford to properly heat their homes. And there's more. Some critics suggest that while Labour is championing bold reform, the party may be overlooking the real-world consequences of fast-paced changes. For example, shifting pension funds toward UK investments may not have an immediate effect, but it's the long game that matters. If pension pots begin to underperform over time, future retirees may end up with less money than expected, all while prices for food, utilities, and healthcare continue to climb. These aren't abstract fears, these are concerns rooted in decades of pension fund performance data. The political conversation around pensions is often full of big promises, but it's the details that matter most. And when comparing Labour's approach to the Conservative stance, the differences become clearer. The Conservatives have also pledged to uphold the triple lock, but they've taken a more cautious approach to pension fund reforms. Their strategy emphasizes investment freedom and protecting individual returns over broader national economic goals. While both parties claim to support pensioners, the paths they offer diverge significantly in terms of long-term financial impact. Experts are divided. Some believe Labour's vision could modernise the pension system and strengthen the UK economy, which might indirectly benefit retirees. Others worry that moving too quickly or without adequate safeguards could result in unintended consequences, such as reduced income security for millions of pensioners. Public sentiment is similarly split. Some older voters welcome change and hope for a more robust safety net, while others are deeply concerned about losing benefits they've relied on for years. Many pensioners simply want clarity, clear answers on what they'll gain or lose, and how their day-to-day lives will be affected. This uncertainty leaves many retirees in a difficult position. On the one hand, the promise to maintain the triple lock is comforting. On the other, the potential loss of additional benefits, the shift in investment strategies, and the proposed changes to winter fuel payments create a cloud of doubt. What should pensioners do in the meantime? How can they prepare for potential shifts in the benefits landscape without knowing exactly what's coming? One thing is clear, now more than ever, pensioners need to stay informed and proactive. That means keeping an eye on government announcements, reading the fine print of policy proposals, and seeking advice from trusted financial advisors. It also means using your voice. If you're concerned about these changes, write to your MP, join pensioner advocacy groups. Get involved in the conversation, because staying silent only allows uncertain policies to unfold without resistance. In the end, the truth about Keir Starmer's 2025 pension plan may lie somewhere between reassurance and risk. While the triple lock promise is welcome news, the broader policy package carries several hidden complexities that every pensioner deserves to understand. It's not just about what's said in press conferences, it's about what happens behind closed doors, in the details of budget planning and long-term financial strategy. Your future, your comfort, your stability, these shouldn't be gambled away for the sake of political headlines. Stay with me, David, as I continue to break down this issue in future videos. Your pension matters. Your voice matters. And together, we'll keep asking the hard questions until we get real answers. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you found this video helpful. Let's keep the conversation going, because when it comes to your future, silence is never an option.